And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Toon review for tonight's match preview of the Nottingham Forest game, of course, which you can catch live right here on the Toon review for full commentary tomorrow. And it's going to be an interesting game because we want to win it and we have to win it, in my opinion. So it's a massive tournament for us, this Carabao Cup this season. But welcome, everybody. I'm joined tonight by Billy and Stato. My name's Paul, and Sam is away working, so she can't make the show tonight. She's started a new job, so the best of luck to her. But do give it the thumbs up if you enjoyed the show, and as usual, please do subscribe if you are new. We are so close to 32,000, so please do subscribe if you're new. Spread the word, pass it around the family. Let's get us up and heading towards 40. Anyway, if you want, you can become a member to support the channel that way by hitting the join button underneath us. And of course, you can super chat the channel by using the $ at the bottom of the live comments, which will guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, and good evening to all those out in Viewerland.
How are we, guys? Are we optimistic for the game tomorrow? Are we a little bit nervous?
I'm ecstatic.
I'm optimistic.
I mean, if you wonder what Billy meant by that, Alex has taken the piss out of him before we came on live, so disgraceful. Peter McCardle, thank you for your super chat. We must walk away. Palace are taking the piss. It looks like he may be involved tonight, but I wanted to. I'm not quite sure if he's substituting, doesn't get on, or doesn't come on the pitch. Is he still cup tied, or does that mean he's not cup tied because he hasn't played any official minutes?
Is he a sub then? Is he, or is he starting?
I don't know. He's in Palace.
He's likely starting.
Yeah, he is.
Surprised.
I'm just being told he is in the team. That's shitty. That's really shitty. But then again, he is a Crystal Palace player, and while he's still a Crystal Palace player, they are perfectly entitled to play him. Although I think it's a little bit of a shitter.
If we want to get all the way to the final, and we do sign him, we can't use him for any of those matches. So,
it's all right. We've got Fabian Schär, no problem.
Yeah, we've got
frustrate him.
Yeah. Anyway, Billy. Now, last week, there's a lady angered you, really angered you, to the point where Billy's beef was taken over by this lady. And she's been at it again today, asking Eddie Howe an utterly disgusting question. And Eddie Howe visibly was angered by it. Listen, she's just a tool.
She did it again. This time she was a little bit more sly about it because she eased him in with a generically quite nice question, and then said, "But is it an illness or is it an addiction?" And Eddie and that kind of tone as well. And Eddie Howe says, "I'm not going there.
I'm not going there." Yeah.
Just shut up.
And then
she's an absolute disgrace.
They went to another reporter in the straight as soon as. I mean, it was obvious that Eddie was pissed by it. Just Matt, who's been a member for 4 months. Thank you, Matt. Hi, everyone. Great to continue to support the channel. Thank you very much, my friend. Alex, did you see much of the press conference? Have you watched it back?
Yeah, I listened to it in the car. Yeah, I wasn't particularly thrilled by the press conference. It's much of what I was whinging about press conferences last year. I get it's, again, this is where it is subjective and it is opinion-based, and this is just my opinion. This isn't an answer that has a correct and an incorrect answer. I personally want more football in the press conferences. There are far more things that haven't been asked. Goalkeeping situations.
I mean, we're talking about Oasis reunion.
That is my point.
What's this got to do with football?
It's a public press conference. You are paid by your employers to go and get information for the general public regarding the football situation in the match. That is your job. I don't want, Blur or Oasis. Like,
I mean, Eddie was joking around with them, but I bet Eddie's sitting there going, "What the fuck? Why have I been?"
It's easy for him though, isn't it? It's easy because he's just got to go, yeah. I bought some albums, whatever. He hasn't got to answer any questions like that. We want football questions. And again, this is a subjective thing. If people want a bit of banter with the manager, fine. Okay, whatever. But I would prefer more football. I just think it's ridiculous.
But there was so many questions about it. Like fair enough, one person do it, but then others kept doing it. And I'm thinking, will you behave, man? We want to know about the bloody football.
I thought Luke Edwards' question was fantastic.
Salary this, and they go and sit there, and some of the waffle that comes out of people's mouths is just frustrating. It really is. For us to get considered by a lot of people and a lot of journalists as just wafflers on YouTube, I'm sorry, but people need to look in the mirror sometimes. Some of it is nonsense.
Yeah, absolutely. Abs says all the love left Eddie's face after the question from Louise. Absolutely.
He was enjoying himself. I mean, even the Blue and Oasis questions.
Yeah.
I mean, as I say, Luke Edwards' way of kind of getting into it, Eddie was on the verge of shitting himself. He thought it was going to be a real kind of crucial transfer question. I want a one-word answer. Now then, coming up to Friday, Blue Oasis. And he went, and he really enjoyed it. It was clever.
Yeah.
But we don't want to really see that.
It was too much of it. I'm sorry as well, by the way. All of these people are professional journalists.
Yeah, they are.
I would say 10% could operate those new microphones. Get a grip. Do some testing before the press conference. Not good enough.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Stotty, 55 has gifted 5 Toon Review memberships. Thank you very much, Stotty. Now, I will, give you advance on this. We've got some prizes for Friday's deadline day stream, which is, of course, we're going probably 11 and a half hours on Friday. So please do become a member, or if you've been gifted one, well done, because prizes will be available on deadline day. It is, of course, a charity stream. We are aiming to raise £5,000 for the 4 charities that we're supporting, and it's massive. We almost got there last deadline day, and that was in January, just after Christmas. So if we can do that after Christmas, you guys can pull it out the bag, I'm sure. But it would be marvelous if we can get to that. On Monday, it says, how much would it take for an interview with Eddie on TTR? Well, as the club don't even recognise us, have never been in touch with us, I don't know. Probably a lot of money. I don't think YouTube.
Depends what Eddie you're talking about.
You what, mate?
Depends what Eddie you're talking about, of course.
Well, it would probably get Eddie the Eagle.
The other Eddie to do with Newcastle United probably cost us more than Eddie Howe, to be fair.
Well, he doesn't do much for Newcastle United anymore, does he? No. Peter says we need Eddie to be a little more resistant to the bullshit questions. He could call them out. He's not like that, though. He isn't like that, and I don't think he wants to cause any trouble, because if he does that in a press conference, it hits the headlines for all the wrong reasons. And, he just looked at her and thought, right, fuck it. Fubar's been a member for exactly a year. It's his anniversary. Thank you, Fubar, for your support. I put a post out on the Facebook group the other day of Gordon signing for Chelsea. Can I just clarify? I know it wasn't real, and it was Claire Balding. Oh, dear God. Calvin, thank you for your super chat. Gay starts for Palace. He's cup tied now. Move on. Well, I mean, look, I don't know what's going to go. It's just, I'm really getting fed up of it now. I am. I'm looking forward to Friday. I think Friday is going to be a good day, not just for us streaming all day, but I think it will be quite a busy day, because many financial experts have come out and said that there's a lot of teams that will probably make late bids for players and try to get players out the door. So it will probably take off if you're to believe what the financial gurus say about it. However, have you seen Tonali's interview, guys?
I saw a bit of it.
Yeah,
I saw a bit of it, yeah.
Well, Alex, what do you make of it?
Yeah, fantastic. A few people criticised his English.
I thought his English was okay.
Me too.
He struggled a lot, considering, but you've got to appreciate the type of question he's asked. When Bruno was being asked questions, sort of whenever it was, I think he did a couple of interviews when his English improved, and the questions were, how do you like living in Newcastle? What do you do in your free time? Yeah, it's those basic questions that you learn when you're learning languages. Yeah. Whereas Tonali gets sat down and asked, about his treatment and rehabilitation and the issue. It's a far more complicated topic for somebody to answer. And I thought he did very well, all things considered. He was very careful with it. I think everybody understood all the points he was trying to make. And he's come on leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem. Billy, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was quite understandable. It's not an easy language to learn English, no doubt about it. Some people can do it quickly, some can't. But I thought it was understandable, and what he was saying was the right things, and I'm looking forward to seeing him tomorrow night.
Yeah. Now, obviously Eddie plays a lot of games, doesn't he, in these press conferences? Now, with regards to transfers, it was a little bit confusing for me because when he was asked certain questions, he was talking about Paul Mitchell and working behind the scenes and that he has a good relationship with Paul Mitchell, which is growing, and things like that. And that they were still trying to get deals done behind the scenes. But then he was asked if he expects anybody to come in before the deadline day, a right winger or a centre back. And he said, probably not.
Well, I think it was in reference to both.
Yeah, either. He said.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we don't,
I think it's the opposite, Paul. I don't think he plays any games at all. He just refuses to play games.
No, I think he's a little. Come on, Alex. Come on, he does play games. We all remember Harvey Barnes.
I think he has a little smile when people try and catch him out.
But that's what
he listens to the wording, and a few people do try and catch him out. And I think, again, it's subjective. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm not the gospel on this.
There isn't.
I don't like it when people try and catch him out. Just ask questions and
Tonali's English is better than Miggy's, says NUFC lad 88. I can't disagree with that. Miggy's English is terrible.
I mean, you never know. I don't think he's ever been given a proper chance. But
look, Miggy's language, Miggy's English is exactly like his football. Shit. Mason says, doubt us getting Madueke on his hat-trick on Sunday.
Yeah, forget that one.
Yeah.
Well done.
William says, how are Palace taking the piss? He's their player, but we will be knocked out tomorrow anyway.
Oh, bloody hell.
Wow,
positivity there, William. Jesus.
William, come on, William. Alexander says, Eddie is currently in the middle of a high-stakes poker game, which is even harder given that Big Mouth Parish is doing world tours.
Mm-hmm.
Philip Bob says, a lot of people would say us Geordies don't speak English. Listen, Geordie is the national language, national accent of the United Kingdom. These two southern fuckers with me? No. I mean, Billy, well, I'm being a bit harsh on Billy there because he is actually, he's got Geordie blood in him.
I mean, technically, being born in the Isle of Man, I'm further north than Yorkshire, so I'm technically northern.
Oh,
I just don't sound like it.
That is true.
No,
I'm more northern than anybody from Yorkshire, in theory.
No, you sound like the Southern Royal Family, Alex, but we'll not get into that. I went to yes. Kev Tay says, it's obvious that he wants two specific players, and until we get rid of 22-23 accounts, we can't afford both without sales. I mean, he was asked about Kieran Trippier as well, and he made it known again, Billy, that he really wants Trips to stay. He was very pleased with what he did when he came on. Certainly didn't mention anything about Kieran's personal life, which I was delighted about. And just, it was all football.
I think what he did Sunday, Trippier, showed exactly why Eddie Howe wants to keep him. And I can't disagree with him. I've got to be honest. Mm-hmm. It's just, can we give him the amount of games that Kieran Trippier wants at his age? I'm not sure we can. So, I mean, I think it's going to be up until the deadline and past it if we sell him or not. I hope we don't.
Yeah. But
I think he wants some kind of, promise he's going to get more games than what he's been getting of late. But I think he will do because on his performance on Sunday.
Chappers, thank you for your super chat. What do you think of AS now wanting to buy into TH? Amanda Staveley buying into Tottenham Hotspur, for all those that are wondering what that is.
I think it's FS, but it might happen.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Peter wants to know, what's your answer, Blur or Oasis?
Oasis for me, all day, every day.
For me, yeah, absolutely. Paul Mitchell must have a Bible of foreign talent, so what the F is he doing?
Well, I mean, something's going on, isn't it? He doesn't just come into the club and is suddenly inept. He's like, I forgot everything I knew 6 months ago.
Yeah, I agree.
There are reasons which we're not privy to at the moment. And it's largely down to not being able to shift people. People don't want to go, and PSR restrictions. It doesn't take a genius to work it out. I think at the start of the window, we were all slightly overpromised things from Darren Eales and the hype. And I think we all thought we had a little bit more we could do.
The thing is, right, there's money there. There's money there.
Well, we had a 60 mil bid for Elise, earlier on in the window.
70 for Gay, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There is money there. So nobody can come out and say, well, we just couldn't afford it or the money wasn't available, because the money is there. It's just for some reason taking so long to get deals done. Clude says, and I am sick of people saying there's pressure on Howe. No, the pressure should be on the board. They have not backed him, and I feel sorry for Howe.
That's true. You can't not buy him first-team players and then have a go at him if he struggles.
Yeah, but,
everybody else is strengthened in the window.
Yeah, there's a flip side to it, though. You could say that out of all the players he's got available, he should be picking the right players for the right games, and he got it wrong.
100%, but he's definitely got this in his arsenal now. If people whinge about it, or if the board whinge about it specifically, or he can say, well, look, I wanted a right winger, I wanted a this, I wanted a that, and I got none of it. So he's definitely got that to use. Right.
By the way, it is a very special day today because the Queen of Toon Review is celebrating her birthday. Susan, Mrs. Toon Review, is 30 today. But a massive happy birthday to her. We've had a great day, and thank you for all the happy birthdays on the Facebook group. My God, there was so many. She was amazed at how many birthdays greetings she was given. So thank you very, very much to everybody that has said happy birthday. Much appreciated. She's had a great day. She is number one. She's amazing. Everybody knows how I feel about Susan. She's just incredible, an amazing woman who does for me more than people will ever know behind the scenes, not just to this channel, but looking after me when I'm not very well, etc. But she's just an incredible mother, an incredible person, and I love her beyond anything in this planet. So happy birthday, sweetie.
Happy birthday, Susan.
Thank you. Anyway, we've got a super chat coming from Keith Truscott. Hi, fellas. I can't help but think this window is going to pass us by without anyone coming in. Just can't help but think it's going to be another shite window for us. Yeah, there's a bit of doom and gloom around at the minute, isn't there?
We've got money in the bank. Obviously, as we just said, we bid for Lee, say we've got this money up for Gahey. But if we don't sign anyone now, you get less for your money in January, and it's less value for us. So do we wait then till next summer until we spend it? I'm perplexed, I must be honest.
I'd rather we didn't sign the wrong players, but at the same
time... One second. Sophia, after I said all those lovely things about you, where's that comment gone? I will find it.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
That's outrageous, Sophia. I am disappointed. After all our lovely things I said about you, you absolutely put that comment. I tell you. Shocking. Anyway, my only concern, says Anthony, is that we panic buy so long as we sign players we have clearly targeted.
That's true.
Well, Eddie did make the point.
Saying,
he did make the point in the press conference of saying you can sign. It's not all about signing players. You've got to get the right players in as well to fit with the system as well, Alex. And I think that's what he was reiterating in his press conference, that it's pointless just going out and buying anybody for the sake of it. They have to be right for the squad.
Yeah, the problem is again, subjectively, there are players out there who are right for the squad, but that's down to our opinion. I think there are plenty of players around Europe between 20 and 40 million that are good enough to come into this side. Mm-hmm. And I don't agree with what Eddie Howe says about do they improve the starting 11 or the team. We don't necessarily need that. We need somebody to challenge Fabian Schär or be an understudy who's close to the ability of Fabian Schär or something in that description. So we don't need somebody who's going to come in and be better in that position straight away. But we definitely do need somebody to come in at the right wing who's better than Miggy and Murphy. I mean, you've got how many goals did they both score last year? Three from Murphy, 3 from Miggy. I appreciate there's assists in there and there's work rate and there's performances that go beyond just goals scored. Mm-hmm. However, when you've got that many goals coming from sort of Isak and Gordon, and you've got 6 coming from both right-sided wingers, if we want to be challenging for things and getting European football, we need more output on the right-hand side because
somebody's had a drink tonight.
Definitely, but we can't guarantee. I appreciate everybody says we scored so many goals last year. Yes, we did, but can we consistently guarantee that everybody's going to chip in that much? I'd rather rely on the people paid to do the goal scoring.
We've got Christopher Wood in the chat. I think Newcastle have good strikers already. We miss you, Chris. We were right behind you when you were with us. We loved you. Trevor says, our problem is we are not as big as some clubs, and most world-class players will not come. We need to be sensible with our money, not just sign any crap.
I mean,
did you see
as that sounds? He's probably right what he says. To be fair,
yeah. Did you see that thing that came out today on the spending so far this summer? Newcastle were right at the bottom of it.
I noticed Chelsea are in for Sancho and Toney as well, aren't they now?
Yeah.
Well, I think Tony's going to Saudi, but yeah.
I think Man United are the second highest spenders in this summer window, but they'll still complain and say that they weren't backed. They have a go at the Glazers and they spend money. It's incredible, man. Keith says maybe the Toon will buy a few more keepers and put a squad of 11 goalkeepers on the field. Francisco's in the chat. Good evening, buddy. Hope you're well. At this point, I'd rather we keep the money and spend it in January on the right players.
Yeah, but you get less for your money in January, don't you?
It's not a great window, is it? But then again, didn't we bring in certain player in January who's been...
one. But, well, actually, to be fair, there was a window where we brought lots. But you know what Palace are like? They could stall us till January and still ask for the same price.
Yeah, of course.
It's definitely within Parish's repertoire to do that, 100%.
Absolutely. Keith Truscott, thank you for a super chat. Generally think Gordon will be on the right and Barnes on the left to solve the dilemma. I agree. I think Eddie's eyes were opened. I hope they were. Now, let's turn to the game tomorrow, because Eddie did say he was going to make there would be changes. And he said, look, the changes that we make, you saw what happened on Sunday with certain players coming off the bench and improving the game, etc. I genuinely feel he can't take a massive risk tomorrow, because I think if we go out of the Carabao Cup, I think he's really under pressure. I really do, because they will expect him to do well. And I think Eddie wants to get quite far in this tournament again. I think it'll be, if we go out tomorrow, it'll be annoying more than anything, because really,
I wouldn't say pressure, but it'll be frustrating for squad rotation, because this is an extra competition to give fringe players additional minutes and to keep players happy with playing time. So if we do go out early doors, it's really bad for that as well. It's not just, I don't think that there's pressure, but it certainly won't help.
I think there'll be pressure, Alex, if we go out with a whimper and we continue.
Depends on the performance, I guess. If we go there and get beat 3-0 and we look pants, then yeah.
I think we'll see quite a few changes, if I'm perfectly honest.
Do you? Well, we'll see that. Is that because of the way we've been playing, Billy, and Eddie won't be happy with certain performances?
I think a bit of both. I think also the introduction of our Italian maestro and things like that, and Joe Linton's poor performance Sunday might give him a rest, and there's 2 or 3 players, I think, or maybe 4 even, that won't be starting on Sunday. I don't think, anyway.
Well, should we look at Forest first, Alex, and see what's going on there, and how they're performing?
Well, this was their most recent game against Southampton. Strange not queries, but responses in the press conference suggesting Elliot Anderson's played the games for them so far this season. He hasn't. Danilo started the first game and got a broken ankle. That's why Elliot Anderson came in against Southampton. So
Eddie said he was excellent, though, didn't he?
He did. Well, he's an excellent player. He's been trained by Eddie and played for us. So he's technically sound. He's aggressive. We know what he's like. So this was their lineup. And it's a lovely, balanced squad, to be completely honest. You've got 2 nice fullbacks in Neco Williams and Ola Aina. Murillo was fantastic against us last year and has been really, really, really solid. They've got a reasonably balanced midfield there in Ibrahim Sangare. He hasn't quite hit the heights that everybody, or specifically JJ Bull from the Tifo, thought he was going to hit. Anderson, we know what Anderson's about. He's definitely going to go and run and join in this here. I'll show you that in the average positions. And 2 fantastic, speedy wingers that are frightening, regardless of whether they have an off day with quality. Just this pure speed from these 2 is just frustrating to deal with. And Gibbs White, we know he's fantastic in behind the tree himself. But as long as the tree is winning balls and flicking things on with the tree branches, that's all he needs to do. And again, I feel like I can't really mock him because he scored a hat trick against.
I mean,
us.
I'm finding it. I must admit, I'm finding it. Or 2 sec. We've got a super chat for Roadblock. Everyone, thank you, mate. Everyone losing their shit about everything. Need to calm down. We're 2.5 years into what was pitched as a 5-year plan. We're not doing too bad.
Well, the question is though, are we going backwards from where we were 2 years ago? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
Yeah, but you're allowed to go slightly backwards from an overperformance.
That's true. But are we going backwards from last year then? Since then, we don't. I mean, people are getting
the more concerning point.
It's very early days. It's very early days. Yeah.
But the more concerning point is, and everybody was talking about this on Twitter today, and it's hard to disagree. Is Botman, Bruno, and Alexander Isak are not going to put their career on pause forever, waiting for the rest of the club to catch up.
Yeah.
We've got to
agree with that.
We've got to get there at some point soon in the next couple of years. Otherwise, they're going to go because they're good enough to play for any club in the world. A lot of them. So
they're not They're not going to hang around for another 3 years or whatever it may be before we get to where we want to be. They're just not, because they want to win things while they're still relatively in the peaks of their careers. Now, one thing about Nottingham Forest is, I am staggered to see their goalkeeper is Matt Sells. He's
fine. He's not a bad goalkeeper.
What?
He's a Belgian international. He was shit for us, but he's obviously clearly improved since then.
I mean, he's not going to get Forest European place, but he's a Premier League level goalkeeper. He's not bad. People are just remembering certain performances, which fair enough.
Certain performances, and quite right too. It's fucking dreadful. Let's be honest.
Terrible for us. But if he's gone on and improved himself, then well done. He obviously has, because he's first choice keeper now for Forest.
Well, average positions, by the way, you can see here that Elanga and Callum Hudson-Odoi were both the furthest forward, either side with a bit of width. Although they've been fairly central, to be fair, a little bit left-sided skewed. And that is because you've got the tree, and just behind the tree, Morgan Gibbs-White, you've got Elliot Anderson joining that kind of trio there, and Sangare kind of sitting a bit more in front of the back four. So you can see what they're about. In terms of their rotation, I don't think we have any suggested lineups from SofaScore yet for tomorrow's match. No, there don't seem to be any suggested lineups on any websites. So
I think they'll go with a strong side, Alex. I know they want to stay in the Premier League, but I think
it's worth scrolling down and looking at that bench, because there'll be a lot of players out of this bench that will probably, get minutes. You've got Willy Bowley will probably come on. Awani will likely play instead. Nicolas Dominguez potentially, Ryan Yates, Harry Toffolo might get some minutes. So some of these names will rotate in, same as we'll do the same our side. But they're a well-balanced squad. They've definitely improved. Last season's statistics don't look upon them very favourably. 17th for goals per match, 15th for goals conceded, 15th for XG, 17th for clean sheets, 19th for possession, 17th for shots on target. I mean, they were. I feel like they were one of those teams that were quite fortunate not to go down.
Lower than that if it weren't for Boxing Day.
Yeah.
You can see what they're about as well. Penalties awarded only the one, which is surprising considering they've got Elanga and Hudson-Odoi. You'd imagine those kind of speedy wingers would pick up a couple of pens at some point. They only got one. Chelsea with the 12, funnily enough. XG conceded down in 16th as well. So yeah, the metrics they don't perform particularly well, but they've got a stronger, more balanced, more experienced squad this year, and that is a better setup. In terms of their first game, they actually got a 1-1 draw with Bournemouth. We know all about those. So let's go and have a look at that lineup. So a little bit different. It has Danilo in midfield instead of Elliot Anderson. Willy Bolly is in as one of the centre halves, and that is the only change. So in terms of how that performed on the pitch, it was a little bit different. Elliot Anderson tends to actually go and join, because he's more aggressive. We know what he's like. He's played left wing, left 8. He likes to float, drift, and push a bit more and join that attack. I think that is definitely shown by his average positions as well. You can't train that out of him. Potentially, they want him to do that. So that's Forest. Do you want to see us?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Should we do us? Right. What do we want to?
We've got to come up with some sort of team lineup here, guys.
Well, we've got something very important to do first. It's been a very long time.
Yes.
First things first. Let's go and drag that name onto the score sheet.
Sandro Tonali.
Let's go move him there. There we go. We're right. He's at least got a start, so he's going there. Right. What else do we want to do? Goalkeeper. Any ideas?
I wouldn't change him. I'd keep Poping.
I think Dubravka starts tomorrow, guys. I'm sorry.
We could roll a dice for how many goalkeepers we've got.
I'd like to see Pope start because, I think if he'd have started against Forest in the home game, we wouldn't have lost that game.
Yeah. DK35, thank you for your super chat. He says, hi, chaps. Do you think there was anything we could have done by adding Simon Adringa in the Minted deal, looking back on it instead of the Oddy deal?
I was in doing a player the other way with Brighton instead of Forest.
I wouldn't have minded doing great about player.
Yeah, but I think Forest also needed to do PSR.
Yeah.
Brighton didn't.
I don't want to say shenanigans because that implies we've done something shady, but that needed solving their end as well. So I don't think Brighton needed to do that.
Mm-hmm. I think Miggy will start tomorrow night.
Right, so well, I'm putting Dubravka on because I agree with Paul. So sorry, Billy. Where is Dubravka? Did they even make a? Oh, there he is. So Sam is not here as the deciding vote. So Dubs is going in, even though I don't want him. I don't want him to play. I think he will play. Although he did start Pope a lot last year, didn't he, in cup competitions?
Yeah, he did. He did, but just with him being injured, I think he wants to. He doesn't want to give Nick Pope the load that he, you know what I mean, a load of games.
What else is going on? Does Kelly start as one of the centre halves?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And Dan Burn drops?
I think so.
Interesting.
And I think Livramento will be dropped as well.
Yeah, I think Trippier will start tomorrow. Yeah.
All right, let's bring Trips down there. I mean, Emil Kraft hasn't really got much of a choice. He's going to have to play where he's told. So, you're there, Emil. Stay there. Don't have a bad game.
Yeah.
Left back.
Left back, I think Hall will start tomorrow.
Yes.
Whoever put Hall, there he is. Yeah. Can anybody think of anything we can do instead of Emil Kraft? I don't think there is anybody, is there? It's just got to be him.
Alex Murphy's there.
But
he's left-footed as well, isn't he? So, you know, it depends. I mean, I've said many times, I don't subscribe to this, that they have to play a right-footed there. I think they could easily play a left-footed player there. But, you know.
Willock over Joe Linton, potentially?
I think so.
Barnes for Gordon.
Yep.
And then Miggy for Murphy.
I think so. I think that's exactly what I think he'll pick.
Do we think
I think Asula will start tomorrow.
He may well pick Asula.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad team, guys. Realistically, that should be.
It is because Dubravka's in goal.
Well, yeah, but Chris Wood's up front for them, so it kind of balances it out. Although then again, I would just shut up because Chris Wood got a hat trick against us. Yeah, but you've been calling him a tree all night, so he could just.
I was referencing his general movement, which is basically like Treebeard from Lord of the Rings.
It wasn't against us at St James's Park. His movement was quite good.
How do we feel about this then? I mean, personally, I would prefer Nick Pope in goal instead of Dubravka.
So would I.
Some people are saying we've got Spurs on Sunday as well. Yeah, but it's almost they get a decent rest before the game. You know, it's still very early in the season, and we're not in Europe as well. So,
but if he does this though, if he starts Barnes, does that mean Barnes can start against Spurs?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? You know, if they were playing Champions League and then playing on Sunday, you'd be playing your strongest side. So there's no reason why these guys can't play 2 games in a week. Come on.
Well, what do we do with the bench then? Do we take some of the big hitters off?
No, we won't need them because we're losing.
Yeah.
But surely you need players like Jamie Miley and Sanusi and people like that to join the bench.
I'm not sure they will, Alex. I think he'll have the heavy. I think maybe one. You know, I mean, who would you take out? I mean, Matt Targett, maybe?
Is Matt Targett? I mean, I don't think anybody asked about him in the press conference, did they?
He might even start him. That's what
this is what they could have asked instead of bloody Oasis questions. Is Matt Targett fit enough to play?
Is Matt? Would you see Matt Targett as a potential for a place in the starting lineup, Eddie? Or let's just ask him about Oasis.
If he wants to rest Bruno, he could put Hall there and put Target in. But I mean, Christ, I'm not sure.
It's
a risky one.
That's a big shout. That is.
It's a risky one, but I mean, he couldn't. He won't do that. No one got to him.
Well, there's some people in the chat say that Bruno won't play tomorrow.
You think?
I think if Bruno doesn't play, we're in trouble. Keith Truscott, thank you for another super chat. You think Doobs is a good choice? What with the speedy wingers coming at him, a keeper stuck on his line, for me, ain't good.
Well, exactly. That's how they beat us at St James's Park with that exact scenario.
Kyle says Bruno is captain, so he won't leave him out.
That's a fair point.
No, but he wanted to be captain on Sunday. He won't want him injured, will he? So
I'm sorry. Also, just for the basis of I don't want to see Matt Targett backpedaling against Anthony Elanga, I'm just going to remove him from that.
Yeah, put Bruno back in there.
Having
said that, you have got Lloyd Kelly in there who seems to do the same thing.
Like, he's quick. He just backpedals anyway.
The thing is, guys, people are mentioning stuff about Spurs on Sunday and things like that. This is an important competition for Newcastle. Let's not beat around the bush. This is an important competition. And, it's a competition that I believe we can go far in again. In fact, I think I predicted us to win the damn thing again. So, well, probably right, yes. But look, Eddie said he would make changes, but he also said that the changes he will make, they have to be strong enough to perform and obviously do the job. Now, that team there for me should be able to do the job.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'd prefer a little bit more rump. If it was me, I appreciate we've got Spurs. I'd start Isak.
Well, Alex, as soon as you put Almiron in the side, the oomph disappears like a wet fart. So,
well, I mean, we can always start that.
Maybe they will.
Maybe
is it a possibility? And that'll be it.
Yeah, he might bring players off later on in the game if go out, get the game won, and then make changes.
I mean, that is disgusting, by the way. If you squint and don't look at the back four too much and just look above it, it's filthy.
I mean, it's as filthy as skid marks on an underpants. But the defense again. I mean,
Trippier, Kelly, and Hall are right, because so it's Kraft to a certain extent. It's not the defense; it's the fellow.
Yeah, well, as soon as you got Trippier and Hall back in the back four, you've got technicians again. So
the problem is, if you play Dubravka, the back four loses any kind of organisation. But we could also say that we haven't seen much organisation yet this season. To be fair, so I think we have to use tomorrow night as a bit of a kick up the arse and go and get some confidence. Go and hammer Nottingham Forest and get some confidence going into Tottenham's game. Because if we go to Forest tomorrow night and get turned over, that's, what's that going to do for confidence to go into a Tottenham game? And let's be fair, Tottenham have got a bloody good side. So I think we have to go to Forest tomorrow night and perform.
Tottenham playing tonight?
Well,
no, they're not. They're in Europe, aren't they?
They're in Europe.
Oh, that's annoying.
Keith Truscott, thank you for another super chat. He says, Miggy, Jesus, and to think that should have been Minte. Oh, let's not go there.
And people talk about Minte. He was absolutely dire against Man United.
Well,
just putting it out there.
Yeah, but he's still a child.
Well, he is, yeah.
It's not going to be fantastic.
People are raving it like he's the second coming of Oasis, and he's not.
Excuse me, Billy. Minte or Almiron? Answer the question.
I'll take Douglas Bader ahead of fucking Almiron.
Anyone new to the channel, we are not fans of Miggy anymore. That
doesn't speak for me.
No, shut up, Alex. Before anybody comes at us, it's nothing personal against Miggy. This is based on football, right? That's it. Football. I do not think he's a good enough player to be in our team. That's all. Nothing personal against him. Nothing. I just need to stipulate that before the Miggy happy clappers come at me. LG says Sanusi over Miggy. I'd like to see Sanusi start a game. I really would, but I don't think he will. I think
if we'd have drawn somebody not Premier League quality, he might have fiddled a bit more with his lineup. And if we were at home, but this has really pigeonholed us into picking a strong team.
Mm-hmm. Look, I think Eddie is of the opinion that we can go far in this competition. And I think he wants to go far in the competition. And I don't want him taking any stupid risks by putting, players in that just aren't going to perform. And I'm sorry I've got a bit blurry again on YouTube. My internet is absolutely crap. How am I paying so much money for this garbage? Honestly, I never know. But it will be.
About
Well, yes. Sophia says Miggy equals nice lad, shite player. Alexander says with Tonali and Trips in the team, I wouldn't say no to Miggy on the left.
Barnes on the right.
Barnes has got to have a start. Come on.
Yeah, Barnes has got to play on the left, surely.
I mean, Barnes needs to start a game. We need to see him for a full game. In fact, we need to see him for a run of games, not just one game, because I think
he's chomping at the bit. You can't then give him his first start and put him on the wrong side.
Absolutely,
yeah, exactly.
Chris Wood says Miguel could prove you wrong, Paul. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, watch Miggy score a couple of goals tomorrow.
Hey, let him go for it, and I'll be the first to say well done. But he won't. Davey says, give Willock a full game. Rest Longstaff, play Bruno, Tonali, Willock, Barnes, Isak, front foot football.
I think Isak will be getting rested quite a lot from now on.
I think one thing people have got to remember as well, if I could spell Willock, that would be great, wouldn't it? It's just how good Joe Willock was when he was playing. I mean, that's only 500 minutes with the data, but he's a freak on wheels when he gets running. And some of those cheeky little passes are ridiculous as well. I don't know if we've got a better scouting report for when was he last fit properly? We've got to go back a few years.
Yeah.
2020,
22, 23 series, I guess.
Was it this one? Yeah, there you go. That's the one. That's 2,500 minutes of the data. He carries the ball and other people shopping at the same time. He's very good at it. A couple of shots a game as well. A proper fit and firing Joe Willock. I think he's nearly back to full fitness as well. And he's 25 now as well.
Kyle says Ryan Fraser on the right.
Well, I mean, technically Isaac Hayden and Ryan Fraser could play, couldn't they?
Yeah, look, if Ryan Fraser starts for us tomorrow night, I will eat my dirty boxer shorts live on a show. There is no chance of Ryan Fraser starting tomorrow night.
Dear. Part of me is kind of...
No.
Yeah.
Any outside shouts? Do we think Byrne is definitely not playing this game?
I don't think he plays. I think he needs a rest.
I think he needs a break. We've got to be careful with Dan Byrne because he's one of the older players, isn't he? We have to, I know that we're not in the European competitions, but
right. So these injured.
No reason.
I don't think Oddie will start against his old club, would he?
Share Ashby maybe on the bench. Wilson Lewis, no. Oddie.
He's apparently going, isn't he, Oddie?
Well, so we've been told by certain people. It doesn't mean it's true.
Mm.
So these are kind of the floating extras. You've got Sanusi, Miley. Those are the people that are not typically on the bench. Or Parkinson, Miley's still injured. So I think Miley and White aren't going to be involved in this. So let's move them out of the way. So there you go. There's your cluster of other maybes as Livramento has been starting. So it's likely Trippier is probably going to play.
By the way, Eddie called Miley Louis again today. Did you notice that?
I think that's probably how they pronounce his name. Also, Louis. Spell it Louis if you want to call him Louis. Louis.
Well, yeah. Have we got anybody else floating on the left-hand side that might come into this? Oh, no, not those three. Let's scroll down. Jay Turner-Cook, Alex Murphy, Heffernan.
Nah.
Is Garen Cole? Where is he? Is he in this country?
Where is Garen Cole, by the way? Where is he? Where are you?
Has anybody seen him in training pictures? Like, is he here?
Where the fuck is he? Nobody knows.
He was involved a bit in preseason, and seemingly everybody's just stopped talking about him. And then we've got a few. I mean, Hearns got an appearance in preseason and is kind of used.
Munda did, didn't he? Munda looks all right.
Apparently, Kuol has a knee injury.
Oh God, how he doesn't play?
Well, he must have banged it off the table when he got up for a cup of tea or something.
A cup of tea.
So anybody from there? Do we think maybe Murphy?
I
sneak a bench appearance.
Murphy was on the bench on Sunday, wasn't he? So there's a possibility that Murphy will be on the bench again.
All right, let's drag Alex Murphy over to the kind of the pile of maybes.
Well, you've got 9 people to put on the bench, Alex, and you've only got 6 there.
Yeah, well, let's build a bench. Let's build a bench, right? So Dubravka going to be is it Pope and Dubs? Are they the 2 guys that are going to be in this squad goalkeeper wise?
Well, you don't know, do you? Because I mean, he said he had a concussion on. I mean, you don't listen. If he's got a concussion, then he won't be even near the team tomorrow, because you cannot get over a concussion in 3 days.
Okay,
Well,
that's fair.
how the fuck's he got himself concussed? He didn't do anything.
Well, listen, I know about concussion injuries from the ice hockey days, right? And you do not recover from a concussion in 3 days.
Let's take Dubs out of the way then. Let's take Dubs. Right. So Ruddy or Oddie? Somebody flip a coin.
Well, I think he goes with Ruddy.
No, he's not. He's not part of this two-sided coin, Billy.
I think he goes with Ruddy again. I really do, because I think Vlacky or whatever Chakademus and Plies is on his way out on loan.
Then just got here, poor fella. He ain't even packed his case yet, and you're getting rid of him.
Well, they probably told him to keep it packed, Billy, because he was coming in and straight back out. You know, he's doing the hokey-cokey, mate. He's away.
Trevor, we're not saying putting Ruddy in goal. We've got Pope there. We're building our bench. Nobody panic. We're not putting Ruddy in goal.
Yeah.
We're playing him up front this week. Go on, John.
Yeah.
All right. So Joe Linton, does Joe Linton make the bench?
Yes. Racer Sky will love it if we get knocked out of the cup tomorrow.
They will indeed.
It's live on Sky again, isn't it? Oh,
it is indeed.
Yeah.
Right, who else gets on this bench?
Pundits, it'll be Robin Hood, Vicky McClure, just famous people from Nottingham, and Paul Gallant.
Robin Hood.
Listen, Paul Gallant thinks we're going to win every game 3-4 and 5-0, by the way. I mean, every time he picks a score, it's always like 5-0. It's unbelievable. God, and he thinks Longstaff's going to score. Longstaff's not going to be seen tomorrow. All right, he might get on the bench, actually. We've completely sent Longstaff.
Yeah, we have. We've moved. Apparently, we're underestimating them, and we should need to be full strength.
Nobody's
Bruno Willock Tonali is a very strong midfield. I don't think that's underestimating them.
We're not underestimating Forest anyway. We've just said it. We said earlier on it was going to be a very difficult game. But this is what, listen, Eddie said in his press conference, he will be making changes. So that's what, this is just a discussion trying to work out what changes he might make. We're not saying this is the team by any stretch.
Does Livramento get on the bench?
Yes.
Yep. I think Longstaff gets on the bench as well, Alex.
You think Longstaff? That's 4. Right, so we've got 2 midfielders, a fullback, a goalkeeper.
2 fullbacks if you count targets.
I think your subs are on the screen right now, Alex. Right?
We've got one more.
Are you sure
we've got one more
instead of a Murphy?
It's either going to be Sanusi or Alex Murphy.
So you think it's all of these, definitely?
Yeah. I don't think he can risk it, Alex. If things aren't going right, he needs some top players he can look to maybe come on and change
the game.
Just
bring another goalkeeper.
Probably will, yeah. But
don't even go there, man. Come on.
Right, so Byrne, Alex Murphy, Sanusi, Jamie Miley, Harrison. I don't think he'd have Ben Parkinson, Ashby, Dubs. Or I think it's between potentially them.
I mean, listen, guys, from what Eddie said this morning, right, in his press conference. Do you think he's going to start Tonali?
Yes,
it's a conversation to be had, because he wasn't exactly saying.
He was making a conscious effort, not saying he was starting Tonali because he doesn't want to give his team away. He's absolutely he's got to. Surely he's got to. I'd be shocked if he doesn't.
Well, listen, we've been.
I think that's a poll. You've got to do a poll. Will he start Tonali tomorrow?
I mean, he's been out for 10 months, 11 months. So you imagine him not playing him. Why aren't you playing him? Oh, we're not sure about his fitness. It's been fucking 11 months training. That's what he's been doing. I want him to come out looking like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. He's Alex got to be as ready as he's ever going to be.
Yeah, but he mentioned what he said was there's been fit and there's been match fit, and we all know match fit is very, very different. And he mentioned
how do you get match fit?
Well, he
playing
mentioned
in some cup games.
I know, but he mentioned the 11-11 situation. You know, that he's maybe not fit enough for 11 versus 11, and we know that sometimes
we can't ask for a 5-a-side for the Carabao Cup.
Do you know what, Alex? You are an absolute bastard, right? You really are. You're a twat. What I meant was, he can gain this. Eddie has a tendency to put on. Nah, you fuckers are getting fired after this show tonight. I've had enough. Honestly.
Killed me.
Nah,
so Bruno would be fantastic at 5-a-side, to be fair.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, substitute-wise, not 5-a-side, the 11v11 situation, and bring him on as a sub. You absolute monstrous twat of a man. Dear God. Anyway, the poll's up now, so get voting, guys. Does Tonali start? Yes or no?
Dear.
Who's the 9th sub? Is it Dan Burn? Is it
it'd be Dan
Sanusi?
Burn.
No, I don't. I think it'll be. I think it's either
We've got no
Sanusi or
centre half
Murphy.
to the bench, have we?
Yeah, there's no centre after there, Paul.
Right. Should I just repeat what I just fucking said? It might be Murphy or Sanusi. My tendency, I said this 5 minutes ago, was Murphy.
Oh, okay. Is Murphy good at five sides?
Oh, yeah. Arturo, for once, is speaking sense.
What's he said?
Paul is right. That's all you need to know. You have to introduce Tonali progressively into the team to adapt again to games.
But Arturo owns a Wolf shirt, so nothing he says is correct. For people who don't know Arturo, he does own a Wolf shirt. So
he does. He does. Look, he can go two ways with this, right? He can start Tonali and take him off after an hour or any time, whatever it may be. Okay. Or he can look at it another way. He can bring Tonali on the hour, get half an hour in his tank before playing and starting against Tottenham.
I mean,
I'll be gutted if Tonali's the start.
Yeah,
I'll be gutted as well, but I'm just looking at how Eddie might look at it.
We're saying Harvey Barnes is champion at the bit. Bloody Sandro will be champion at the bit. So I think he'll play. I think he'll play. No doubt he'll play.
Well, Stephen says see him as a 60-minute sub. Does that mean you see him as coming off on 60 minutes or coming on, Stephen?
That's true.
There is an option. I want him to start. I really do want him to start, but you know,
he doesn't have to play 90, but give him an hour and then bring Longstaff on if he needs it.
I agree. I would rather him start the game and get an hour than coming on for the last half an hour if we're chasing the game. That's not the right introduction for Tonali.
You've got to remember he was quite a beast when he got going for us in terms of his speed and his pressing and his tenacity and stamina. He was quite a tank. And he's definitely fit. I appreciate he's not match fit, but again, all the more reason why we could have done with drawing not a Prem team in the first bloody draw, but it is what it is.
I mean, it would just be our luck that Tonali starts and pulls a hammer after 3 minutes.
I'll get sent off.
Can we not jinx this? Guys.
Got sent off, and then it's found out that he bet himself to get sent off in the exact minute he got sent off. Look,
I must reiterate that we are doing this on purpose, guys, because normally when we say something negative about a player, he goes and has a worldie. So let's just hope. Abs says 2 games in, we don't need wholesale changes. The bench will be strong. You need to hold something in reserve.
I agree.
Yeah, but we've got to play Spurs at the weekend, who are a very good side. So we can't play the same team three
4 o'clock on a Sunday. They've got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, that is true, I guess.
There's plenty of time. Let's look back at Man United in their glory days, right? They were playing in Champions League and league games, and they went with this quite often the same start 11 week in, week out, and didn't harm them.
Yeah.
But I want to see us go out and absolutely, my personal preference is for them to go out tomorrow night, whoever's on that starting 11, and bury Nottingham Forest and get our confidence back up so that when we do take on Tottenham, we are full of confidence to go at them and think, right, we've just done Forest. Let's go out, same performance, and let's crush Tottenham. Because let's face it, we're good at crushing Tottenham at St. James's Park, but we have to get our confidence levels up. We have to start firing in some goals. Please.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. I think tonight should start. Absolutely, 100%. He should start. And then come off on the hour when we're 4 up, and he's made 3 of them and scored 1 himself.
Is it it's 2 o'clock kickoff on Sunday? I do apologise.
You mentioned that again. We do have a lot of rest between now and Spurs, and people should be able to do that.
It's the start of the season. We're talking
about.
Yeah,
but if Isak gets broken, I'm scared.
Yeah, but how many times are we going to say that? If a player gets injured, if, that we've got to play our best players to win things. We can't risk just saying, oh, yeah, but what if someone gets injured? We can't do that. If we want to get where we want to be, right, we can't just keep saying, well, maybe he's not play him in case he gets injured. We need to perform and win things.
we also know that Forest are pretty physical at the back, aren't they? I mean, that's where Wilson got his.
Well, fuck it, let's get physical with them.
Well, can't do it, can he? He's not that player, is he? Whether I think
no, but we've got Willock and Tonali certainly he'll get stuck in there. I mean, Miggy will break like a twig, but Willock will get in there. Bruno will get in there.
Hey, that's all Miggy's got. Don't take that away from him.
I honestly, we can't take this thing of, what if he gets injured? I mean, look, Isak could get up in the morning and fall down the stairs and break his leg. You know,
we brought Osula in specifically for that because it was Isak or Wilson and constant problems. We've brought in a third so we can be careful.
I think the bottom line is, Alex, I am sick of winning nothing, right? And you know, if we blow this competition by playing some absolute, well, you know, that side there in front of me is decent enough to win that game tomorrow. But if he makes too many changes in the wrong positions and blows it, it's another cup gone again for another season. And I'm just fed up with it. I want to see us really go for it and try and actually win it.
Well, if we win this, you're never going to draw Argentina away in the next round, aren't you?
Yeah, we will.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I know that. But Nick Rowley, thank you for your super chat. Wore a NUFC shirt in Prague this summer. Italians surrounded me and chanted Sandro Tonali. Nice. It's a 1:30 kickoff on Sunday.
It's just getting earlier.
Is it 1:30? That's from Ian, who's celebrating being 25-month member. He's also a mod on the channel, of course. Is it? I thought it was 2 p.m.
I tell you what, people talk about Longstaff. If Longstaff starts, I'm going to be furious.
I'll be pissed.
Instead of Tonali.
Well, yeah.
Come on. You're going to be pissed off if you see Longstaff on that team sheet.
I mean, people talking about between sort of the takeover and now, I'm sorry, but Eddie Howe's first experiment as a manager was a double pivot of Sean Longstaff and Joe Willock. So if they both start in that midfield, as much as I love Joe Willock and Longstaff is okay as a squad player, right? You know, it's got to be Tonali. We spent so much money on him. You've got to use him. Kick-off
on Sunday is 1:30, by the way, and so is Chelsea Crystal Palace, and then Man United at Liverpool at 4.
Yeah, they've moved it forward, haven't they? Obviously, they'll be talking about Man United Liverpool while our game.
Well, of course they will. Yeah, the whole thing will be that. Are we going as our starting lineup? Then, or do you think Osula will start? I just want us to play our best team, go out, bury the fuckers, and get on with it. Because I'd
like to see that, but I think he'll play. I think he'll play Osula.
Depends who wins the five-a-side in the warm-up. To be fair.
Oh, fuck off, Alex. Keith Truscott, thank you for your super chat. Agree, Paul and Isak need to find the net too. Isak does need to. Isak does need to get going. Yeah. Michael says Eddie checks out players for their character. So what the fuck happened against Southampton and Bournemouth? They can't be tied and there's 2 games in. Well, I'm not questioning the character against Southampton, mate, because it was the first 20 minutes. You know, let's wipe. That's just Christ. I thought my nose was bleeding. Then it's a Kit Kat wrapper. I think let's just forget the first 20 minutes. I think that the team were galvanized after the send off, and I'm not questioning.
Let's ignore the bad bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
They showed character in both games. To be honest, they showed it on Sunday.
They did once the subs were made. Yeah,
it's not a character.
I mean, if Isak does play though, I'm excited to see that little triangle, that little trio on counter attacks or. It's reasonable.
The thing is, guys, surely our fans do not want to see us make too many changes and go out of the competition and then say, oh, yeah, but we can concentrate on the league. I am sick if that. Listen, I'll be really pissed off. Oh, yeah, but we've got the league. No, we need to go for cups right now. And we need options to get into Europe. This is an option. The FA Cup's an option and the league's an option. We need all those options. Simple as. I would be annoyed if we make too many changes and we fuck it up tomorrow.
Yes. I agree.
So are we going with that team?
Well, that's what we'd like to
there's
see.
A few interesting alternatives people are suggesting.
Gordon for Almiron. Yeah. Why not?
Somebody just suggested that, but I don't think
he ever played as a right winger.
I think he could, but I'm not sure it's time for that kind of thing, especially tactically. Is he going to know what to do defensively?
Maybe he'll have Gordon on there. Maybe he'll start just totally all out attack and go for with the full lot of them. You know, even Joe Linton in for Willock. Who knows?
Yvonne's asking if the Japan trip has made the difference in energy. No, they were back. I don't think so. They were back well before the Cellar Cup, weren't they? So I don't. Listen, it could be anything, to be honest. I don't think it can be that.
I don't think we've looked bad at the end of the games. It's the beginning of them.
Yeah,
we're slow to start, which never used to be what we used to do.
Yeah.
We start well for the first 5 minutes and then tail off for 20, 30 minutes, don't we? That's what's happened in 2 games so far.
Dean's just made a very, very good point here, right? If we aren't putting teams like Forest, Bournemouth and Southampton away, then we need to reassess what level we should be aiming for. 100% agree with that.
I don't think Bournemouth are in the same category as the other two at the moment, but it's a fair point.
I think Bournemouth away, Forest away, tough games. Whoever we put out, and Southampton at home would have been easier had we have kept 11 men on the pitch.
Well, you say that, Billy, but we were drossed for 20 minutes and Southampton could have been a goal up.
That was never going to be the same all the way through there, was it?
Well,
yeah, we would have had spells of dominance. We would have gotten a foothold.
Well, I'm glad you think so, guys. I mean, what gave you that confidence? I have no idea, but maybe. I mean, I said the same thing as well, so what am I talking about? Right, it is score prediction time before we end the show. So, Billy?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one, but I think we'll win. I think they'll all score in a 5-0 win. No, it'll be 2-0 to Newcastle. And I think Isaac and Sandro will score as a romantic.
You reckon Sandro's going to score tomorrow?
Well, he likes to score in his first game, doesn't he?
Well, he does, yes. Yes. I was right behind that goal when he scored that against Villa. Get your scores in the chat, guys. A lot of people are going Newcastle win. 3-1s, 2-0s. So there's Poker Pet has gone 1-1. Keith, thank you for another super chat. Like that team, except Miggy. Can't see him not playing Gordon, to be honest. Yeah, well. Alex?
I'm going to go with... Willock and Tonali 2-0.
Willock and Tonali 2-0. I mean, listen, I love the fact that everybody thinks Tonali's going to score. I think that's fantastic. But he might not be even on the pitch. We just don't know yet. Duncan says, I've put my pensioners pound on halftime 2-0 to the Mags. Come on. There's a lot of 2-1s, to be honest. Arturo's going 0-4. Now, does that mean 0-4 to Newcastle or Newcastle 0 Forest 4, Arturo? I think it's Newcastle.
Well, that means us to win because we're away. Oh, sorry, did you not want the right answer?
Palace are leading, by the way.
Thanks, Billy. Anyway, I'm going for 2-1. And I think Joe Willock's going to get a couple of goals tomorrow. I think he's going to be on fire for us and bag a couple of goals. We will win 2-1. We will be 2-0 up. Palace will score with 5 minutes left or so. It'll be squeaky bum time. We'll defend like lions and we will win the game.
Palace?
You've thrown me off, Alex. You see, because Billy's just talking about Palace, and you with your stupid fucking shit tonight giving me grief. It's all gone wrong in my mind. It has all gone absolutely tits up in my head, and it's all your fault. Simply all your fault. You have rocked the host with your cheesy little twatty comments. And Bucknut Billy,
don't you laugh against Palace tomorrow.
As bad as him. Yeah. I just don't know who I'm working with anymore. I don't recognize these people anymore. Absolute bastards. But anyway, that is it for the show. You might see Billy and Alex in the future. You might not. We'll see what happens. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your super chats, new memberships, etc. Mods, thank you. I'm not saying thank you to Billy and Alex tonight because they're absolute dirtbags. Okay, Alex, why don't you host the show? Right. Does Tonali start? The yeses are 81%. 19% say no, he doesn't. So for once, that actually makes 100% on our polls, which doesn't normally happen right here. But listen, guys, thank you very much for watching. We're back at 7:30 tomorrow night for Matchday Live, full commentary of the game. As usual, knock the biased bullshit Sky Sports commentary off. Watch the game, listen to our commentary, and enjoy the game with us tomorrow night from 7:30. All the team news, all the build-up to the game, and, of course, the full commentary of the match itself. But thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys, and we will see you tomorrow. Good night.
You and I are going to live forever.
Used to are absolute bastards.
Subside.
And check out